Come through the sky, Christopher Daniels, Frankie Zay, collectively known as SoCal Uncensored or
SCU! This is Catch, Hook, and Shoot, the worst podcast I've ever been on. Word.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Catch, Hook, and Shoot, the best podcast you never heard of. My name's Tom. I am your host. We've been away for a while. I want to thank everybody who stuck with us. Thank you for tuning back in. Yeah, like I said, we were away. I had some family stuff going on, just had to take a step back for a little while, but we are back. There's been so much going on in the couple of months that we've been gone, so I'm going to do my best to catch up on the important stuff here today. But first and foremost, like always, I want to thank everybody for watching, listening, and subscribing on YouTube, Podbean, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Head over to the website, catchhookshoot.com. You can find all the podcasts, videos, interviews, and everything related to the show, including the CHS shop. Make sure you check that out. Just put up a brand new CHS hoodie up there a couple of weeks ago. Check that one out. And make sure you're following on social media on all platforms. You can find the show at Catch Hook Shoot. Check out our Pro Wrestling Tees store, prowrestlingtees.com/catchhookshoot, and you can find all that and a whole lot more on our Linktree, which is linktree/catchhookshoot, or you can scan this little QR code right here in the corner of your screen and find links to literally everything relating to the show. And if you ever want to shoot me an email, it's catchhookshoot@gmail.com. So we got a couple new segments on the show starting this week, and we're going to start off with a brand new one. This is called The Lead Story. All right, so what the lead story is all about is basically my favorite storyline of the week, or what I think is the best storyline of the week. You know, not necessarily an entire storyline, just, you know, the for that particular week, what storyline did I think had the best segment, the best advancement, whatever it might be. And this week I'm talking about Edge and Seth Rollins. I really liked the segment that we saw this week with Rollins showing up at Edge's house and, you know, just letting himself into the house and sitting in his reading room in his chair with his feet up and going in his fridge, just honestly being just a creep, as there's no other way to put it. And I like the touch of, you know, Edge was in the ring at the time, obviously, and went running to the back, gets on the phone, calling Beth Phoenix's wife, who happened to be out of the house at the time, and telling her, don't go to the house, go to her brother's house, and he's going to call Daniel and David, which I thought was an awesome touch. Daniel and David are FTR. Yeah, so I thought that was a very cool touch, because I think most people know FTR are the ones who really helped Edge in getting back into ring shape for his return. They live in the same town as Edge, you know, so just a nice little tip of the hat to FTR there, even though they're not in WWE anymore. I thought that was really cool on Edge's part. So that is my favorite storyline from this week. So this is, like I said, it's going to be a new segment on the show. It's called The Lead Story. This is what's going to kick off the show from now on. It's just going to be, like I said, me recapping my favorite storyline moment from the week. So I hope you guys like it. If you got any thoughts or any comments or anything like that, make sure and drop me an email, drop us a comment, whatever it might be. So let's keep it moving right along here into the next segment of the show, which has been going on for a very long time, and this is the match of the week. Alright, so since we've been gone for a little while, I've got more than just one match of the week this week. I'm actually going to name two matches that have taken place over the last several weeks since we have been on hiatus a little bit. And first and foremost, CM Punk versus Darby Allin. I mean, CM Punk coming back after 7 years away from the wrestling business, making his return to AEW, and he has not lost a step. The match with him and Darby at All Out was amazing. The fact that his first match back was with Darby Allin, who, by all accounts, one of the top guys in AEW, excuse me, but yeah, so Punk versus Darby, Punk's first match back in 7 years. I thought it was a fantastic match, and yeah, CM Punk, well, wrestling's crazy. Wrestling is crazy, and the second match I got for the match of the week this week is right up there with it. Kenny Omega versus Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon. Not Daniel Bryan, the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, who is also now in AEW. Yeah, All Out was crazy, guys. I'm sure everybody's seen it by now. The debuts and surprises, and my God, Tony Khan is just going all out trying to make, and no pun intended there, he is going all out to make AEW a top contender in the pro wrestling world, and he is succeeding. I don't care what any of the haters or detractors want to say. Oh, he's bringing in nothing but ex-WWE. Shut the hell up. You know, who hasn't been through WWE? Come on. But anyway, yeah, it's like in the wrestling business, you know, you're not supposed to, if you lose a job one place, you're not supposed to move on to another. But I'll get into that a little bit later. But anyway, yeah, Kenny Omega versus Bryan Danielson go to a time limit draw, and my God, what an amazing match these two guys put on. If you haven't seen it, what the hell is wrong with you? If you watch this match and tell me it wasn't good, you're not a wrestling fan. You need to turn in your wrestling fan card right now, because you've lost it. I'm sorry. So, yeah, the two matches of the week, or the last several weeks since we've been gone, Punk versus Darby and Omega versus Danielson. Go watch them both, and then watch them again, and then watch them again. So, and yeah, just go watch them and enjoy them and be a wrestling fan, because that's who those two matches were for. There's no doubt in my mind about that. So moving on to the next segment of the show here, where I kind of go through my top 3 highlights of the week, and that's called the 3 count. Number 1 on the 3 count, I don't think there's any doubt about it, the return of CM Punk, making his return to the wrestling business, to AEW, and making it right here in Chicago at the United Center. My God, the pop, the explosion that happened in that arena when Cult of Personality hit. I mean, I wasn't in the arena, unfortunately. I was watching it on TV. The crowd was so loud you could not hear the music. It took me a minute to realize they were even playing Cult of Personality, because you couldn't hear it over the crowd. You know, and I said it on social media, we've heard of the Road Warrior pop. We just saw the birth of the Punk pop, because I've never heard anything like that before in my life. So CM Punk back after 7 years, like I talked about a little while ago, made his return to the ring versus Darby Allin at All Out, put on a fantastic match, and yeah, just absolutely amazing to have CM Punk back in wrestling. Number 2 on the 3 count, Shayna Baszler is back to being a badass, which I think is phenomenal. I absolutely love it. She's taken out Nia Jax. She's taken out Eva Marie. She's back to just stomping on elbows and breaking limbs and just hurting people. And to me, that's great. That is what brought her to the dance, so to speak. That was her persona in NXT, was just this badass who would beat the hell out of anybody that got in her way, and just breaking bones and not caring. So I'm liking that they're taking her back in that direction. You know, I liked her in the tag team with Nia Jax. Don't get me wrong, it was different. You know, she got to show a little bit different side of her personality and stuff like that. But Shayna Baszler is a badass. That's how she needs to be. So I'm loving what we're seeing from Shayna Baszler the last couple of weeks. And number 3 on the 3 count, a couple weeks ago, brand new WWE champion Big E cashed in the Money in the Bank briefcase and took the WWE Championship from Bobby Lashley. And again, the crowd went nuts for this one. So, congratulations, Big E. It's about time. And, I'm excited to see where WWE is going to go with Big E as the champion. Hopefully they leave the title on him for a while, because he has definitely earned it. And I think, it's only been a couple of weeks, but I'd say he's a pretty damn good champion so far. So let's get into what's been going on around the wrestling world the last week, or few weeks as it were. Now, going to change things up a little bit. I know previously I would kind of go through every show, give results and that kind of thing. I want to get away from that. I don't want to just be a results-driven podcast. I mean, it's kind of boring. It gets kind of tedious. It gets kind of monotonous. You know, I just want to talk about the big stuff, the important stuff, the stuff I like, and that kind of thing. So, yeah, first and foremost, some WWE stuff. Charlotte, has destroyed Lily, the doll of Alexa Bliss. And, by all accounts, Alexa is going to be off TV for a while. I mean, she obviously had a bit of a breakdown when Lily was destroyed and was foaming at the mouth, although it looked like she just had a tab of Alka-Seltzer on her tongue, but that's okay. But, but basically from what I've read online, what I'm sure you guys have read online, this was a way to write Alexa off TV for a little while. She has to have minor surgery, by all accounts, on her sinuses, I believe it was, and possibly getting repackaged. I don't know if she's going to go back to her previous persona, if it's going to be something new, something in between the demonic Alexa and, the old Alexa. So we'll have to see. But, apparently she'll be off TV for a few weeks. The Hurt Business back together. Like I said, Bobby Lashley lost the WWE Championship to Big E and had a rematch with Big E this past week. And the Hurt Business, Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander showed up at ringside. So it looks like the Hurt Business is a thing once again. Keith Lee has a new name. It's still Keith Lee, but now he is Keith Bearcat Lee. Bearcat, kind of an homage to Bearcat Wright, old school wrestler from way back in the day. So, a lot of mixed reaction to this online. I'm okay with it. I think Bearcat's a pretty cool name. I don't know if they're going to shorten it and just start calling him Bearcat Lee or leave him as Keith Bearcat Lee. But, either way, it could be a whole lot worse. So I'm okay with Bearcat. NXT. NXT 2.0 now apparently is what it's called. Samoa Joe had won the NXT title, had to relinquish it due to injury. Tommaso Ciampa is now the NXT champion. There's been a lot of stuff going on in NXT the last few weeks. Saw the debut of Braun Breaker, who is actually Bronson Rex-Steiner, son of Rick Steiner, and but they don't talk about that on air. His name was originally supposed to be Rex Steiner, and they changed it to Braun Breaker. I don't know, but apparently he's getting a pretty damn good push in NXT, so I'm excited to see where he's going to go. I mean, he's a Steiner, so he can go in the ring. I'm interested to see where he's going to go. We are it's going to happen. We are going to see Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar at Crown Jewel coming up in about 3 weeks. Brock Lesnar made his return at was it at SummerSlam? Yeah, it was at SummerSlam. Sorry, guys, the last few weeks are just kind of all melding together in my head. But interesting. It's been an interesting story with these guys, especially with Paul Heyman kind of stuck in the middle because he's now the advisor to Roman Reigns, but of course was the advocate for Brock Lesnar previously. So Brock's kind of in the babyface position on this one. I don't know how I feel about that. I just don't like Brock Lesnar, but I don't know. We'll see what happens, but it's happening at Crown Jewel in about 3 weeks, so we'll see how that one turns out. Sasha Banks made her return and attacked both Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair at Extreme Rules. So, Sasha Banks looking to get back into the title picture, obviously. We found out that we are going to have the return of the King of the Ring tournament as well as a women's tournament known as the Queen's Crown, and those are starting this next week on SmackDown. So, both men's and women's King and Queen tournament should be interesting. I know Xavier Woods has been pushing hard for the King of the Ring to come back. Hopefully he's in the tournament, and I'd love to see him win it. I mean, we've seen Kofi as the world champion. We're seeing Big E now as the world champion. Give Woods his time to shine. Put him in this tournament. Let him take it all the way. Let him show what he can do, because he had a couple of damn good matches against Bobby Lashley within the last couple months, and let Woods break out on his own like Kofi and Big E have done, and that's what I'm looking to see. I want to see Woods as the King of the Ring. So that's gonna be starting on SmackDown this next week. This week, we saw the return of the WWE Draft. Night 1 was on SmackDown this past Friday, and it's going to be continuing on Monday on Raw. So let's go through the the draft picks so far for SmackDown, they got Roman Reigns, Charlotte, which is interesting because Charlotte is the Raw Women's Champion. So she has been drafted to SmackDown, so I would expect her to be dropping that title sometime soon, unless possibly Becky Lynch gets drafted to Raw, in which case they'll probably just have them exchange the titles like they did with the tag titles in the last draft. But so yeah, Charlotte going to SmackDown, Drew McIntyre going to SmackDown. Let's see where we at here. The New Day, Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods going to SmackDown. So the New Day has been split up again with Big E, staying over on Raw. Happy Corbin and Mad Cat Moss, Riddick Moss, now kind of Corbin's sidekick, I guess. That I don't know. I don't know what to think about Happy Corbin. But SmackDown also getting Hit Row from NXT, and a very good pickup for SmackDown because they're getting all 4 members. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do on SmackDown. SmackDown also gets Naomi, Jeff Hardy, Aaliyah, Drew Gulak, Mace Mansoor, Mustafa Ali, and Tony Storm, all going to SmackDown. And on Raw, they took Big E, the WWE Champion, of course, Bianca Belair, Randy Orton and Matt Riddle, RK Bro, Edge, Rhea Ripley and Nikki Cross, the Women's Tag Team Champions, Bearcat Lee, Rey and Dominic Mysterio, Austin Theory, Akira Tozawa, Alpha Academy, Apollo Crews and Commander Aziz, Doudrop, John Morrison, Nia Jax, R-Truth, Reggie, T-Bar, and Zelina Vega. So that was night 1 of the draft on SmackDown, as well as on Talking Smack, the supplemental portion of the draft taking place there. So moving on to some AEW stuff. Tons of debuts happening just over the last couple of months. We got Bryan Danielson, who I talked about. Adam Cole, baby, is now all elite and back with the Young Bucks as part of the Super Clique. As well as being part of the Elite with the Bucks and Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers and Nakazawa and Cutler. And Don Callis, of course. Then we've got CM Punk, who we talked about. Ruby Soho, formerly known as Ruby Riott in WWE, made her debut with AEW. Malachi Black, formerly known as Aleister Black, or Tommy End, has debuted in AEW. We found out this past week Leo Rush has signed with AEW. I'll say it again, Tony Khan is going all out. He's building a hell of a roster. We saw an appearance from Homicide at the first New York City show for AEW, coming in to make the save for Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston. I mean, that's another Forbidden Door thing right there. Homicide's a Ring of Honor guy showing up in AEW. We saw the tribute to Brody Lee just this past week in Rochester, New York. Awesome show. All the tension within the Dark Order that's been building over the last few weeks kind of came to a head, and we saw Uno and Grayson trying to walk out on the Dark Order during a 16-man tag team match, and they were stopped by Amanda Huber as well as -1, Brody Lee Jr. and Anna Jay and Ty Conti. And Amanda Huber getting right in the face of Evil Uno, telling them they're dishonoring Brody Lee's memory, and you saw Uno and Grayson hightail it right back to the ring, make the save. Dark Order gets the win, and everybody getting back on the same page, and the Dark Order getting back together. It was a very, very cool tribute to Brody Lee. I thought it was an awesome moment. Honestly, I should have put that in the 3 count for the week, but it was great. We've got a new TNT champion in Sammy Guevara, picked up the win over Miro. Little bit of a surprise. I expected Miro to retain in this one, honestly, but a welcome surprise at that. Sammy Guevara is your new TNT champion. We found out his first challenger is going to be Bobby Fish, who's going to be making his debut in AEW this coming week. So that was another interesting and welcome surprise. Then last several weeks, we've been seeing Dan Lambert and American Top Team making appearances on AEW, along with Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page. So it seems like Dan Lambert, I guess, is kind of their manager now, which is interesting because Lambert has made appearances for MLW in the past with King Mo, who, of course, is part of American Top Team. So I'm wondering if maybe we're going to see King Mo in AEW at some point, or if he's still under contract to MLW, or who knows. But some interesting stuff going on here, and we saw American Top Team kind of take out Chris Jericho this past week. So Jericho may be off TV for a while. I think Fozzie's got a tour coming up. So, but yeah, some interesting stuff going on with that. And we saw a really interesting promo from MJF this past week talking about the 4 pillars of AEW, the 4 stars that are going to take AEW into the future, as he put it, over the next several decades. And he was talking about himself, of course, as the main pillar, as he put it. But then he also mentioned Darby Allin, Sammy Guevara, and Jungle Boy, which, of course, this brought Darby Allin out to the ring, and it looks like we're going to get an MJF and Darby Allin feud out of this one, and I'm right here for that. But me personally, I think you need to add a 5th pillar to that, and that 5th one is Hangman Page. Now, I know he's been out for a little while. He and his wife just had their first child. Understandable, he's been gone for a while. Sure, he's going to be coming back sometime soon, but yeah, Hangman Page needs to be on that list as well, because those are the guys, in my opinion, that are going to carry AEW forward, into the future. At least the men's division. The women's division has been getting a nice little boost lately, I would say. A lot of people complain about the AEW women's division, but now you've got Britt Baker as the champion. You've got Ruby Soho. Anna Jay is back healthy. Chris Statlander's been back for a little while now. You got Ty Conti. Serena Deeb is coming back this next week. Hikaru Shida is coming back. She hasn't been on TV in a while. You've got Jade Cargill. You've got Nyla Rose. The AEW women's division is getting very, very good for those who are not paying attention. So yeah, keep an eye on that, because I'm liking the direction that it's going. And we also found out on Wednesday we are going to have another casino ladder match. Now, this is the ladder match where you have to climb the ladder, grab the brass ring, and I am assuming you get the shot at the TNT title out of it. But the participants in this match are Pac, Andrade, Jon Moxley, Lance Archer, Orange Cassidy, Matt Hardy, and a Joker. There's a lot of speculation about who the Joker, the surprise entrant, is going to be. A lot of people are thinking that's going to be Hangman Page's return. Wouldn't surprise me. That'd be a good spot to have him come back. So I'd put my money on Hangman Page. I can't really think of anybody else that could possibly be debuting, or any surprises, or anybody returning from injury or anything like that. So I think Hangman Page is probably a pretty safe bet for the Joker. A little bit of stuff going on in Impact. Christian Cage is your Impact World Champion. He took that title off of Kenny Omega. What else we got going on here? Josh Alexander has surrendered the X Division title in order to get the World title match at Bound for Glory, exercising option C. So it's going to be Josh Alexander against Christian Cage for the Impact World title, and I'm putting my money on Josh Alexander. I think it is his time in Impact to carry the top belt. So I'm going with Josh Alexander on that one at Bound for Glory when that one comes around. Impact has also introduced a new Digital Media Championship, which is an intergender title, which I think is very cool. And a lot of people are talking some shit about this one online. Digital Media is a stupid name. Guys, I hate to break this to everybody who hasn't figured this out yet. This is the next evolution of a television title. That's exactly what it is. They're calling it digital media. What do you think you watch day in and day out on all these streaming services or YouTube, or however you watch your television programs or movies or whatever kind of entertainment you consume? It's digital media. That is the standard now. It's not about television stations or cable or anything like that. It's all about digital media. It's all about the streaming services like Impact Plus and like Netflix and WWE Network and Peacock and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, this is the next evolution of the television championship. And like I said, apparently this is an intergender title, which is pretty cool. As far as I'm aware, Impact is the first major company to have a legitimate intergender championship that either men or women can vie for. So I think that's a pretty cool step that Impact is making with this title. We've also seen the Impact return of the Fallen Angel, Christopher Daniels. Now, he's been out of action since SCU split up. Frankie Kazarian has become the Elite Hunter, and Scorpio Sky now is off doing his own thing with Ethan Page. So, yeah, the Fallen Angel is back in Impact Wrestling, which is that's awesome. Christopher Daniels, one of my favorite Impact originals, so I'm interested to see what he's going to be doing there. We've also seen the Impact debut of Alex Zane, which I am ecstatic about. I've had the pleasure of calling some of his matches at Warrior Wrestling. And, obviously he was in NXT for a little while, got released, and now he's in Impact. Don't know if he's there permanently, don't know if he's under contract or what, but yeah, Alex Zane, if you have not seen him, watch him closely. Heath Slater has returned also to Impact from injury, or I'm sorry, just Heath, but he has returned from his injury, and Sami Callihan has gone down with a gnarly ankle injury. If you haven't seen it, check out Sami's social media, take a look at the picture he posted of his ankle. It's ugly. So I'm guessing he is going to be out for a little while. Some MLW news. Their Fightland event, which is actually going on tonight as I'm recording this, is going to be airing on Vice right after Dark Side of the Ring this coming Thursday. And the main event is Jacob Fatu against Alexander Hammerstone, title versus title, the World Heavyweight title versus the National Openweight title. MLW has also announced the Opera Cup brackets for 2021, and this tournament is stacked. First round, Davey Richards versus Filthy Tom Lawler. That is a main event anywhere in the world. I would love to call that match. And then we've got TJP versus Alex Shelley. Damn, I've seen that match. I want to see it again. I saw that match in the rain, or right after the rain. And, with the mat being slippery, the guys couldn't do any high-flying stuff, and they kept it on the mat the entire time. It was one of the most entertaining wrestling matches I've ever seen in my life, and now it's going to happen on MLW. Bobby Fish versus Lee Moriarty. Again, damn. Lee Moriarty, another one that I've had the pleasure of calling some of his matches for Warrior. And he is another one to watch because he's just getting started. So, and he's already just ridiculously good. So him versus Bobby Fish is going to be off the charts. And then Calvin Tankman versus Matt Cross. That's just going to be a slugfest. I mean, Matt Cross can do some high-flying stuff too, but for a smaller guy, I think he can hang in there with Tankman. So I'm curious to see that one. Ring of Honor has a new women's world champion in Roxy, who will be appearing at the next Warrior show, defending that Ring of Honor Women's World Championship, interestingly enough, but we'll talk about that a little bit later on. And what else we got going on? Josh Woods defeated Jonathan Gresham for the Pure Championship. I don't know how I feel about this one. I think everybody out there already knows Jonathan Gresham, in my opinion, the best wrestler in the world right now, still, whether he's got that Pure title or not. But, Josh Woods is your new Pure champion. Kenny King and Dragon Lee defeated Chris Dickinson and Homicide for the Tag Team Championships in Ring of Honor. Some New Japan stuff. The G1 Climax tournament is going on right now through the end of October. And so far, we've got Zack Sabre Jr., the Great Okan in Block A, both sitting at the top with 8 points each. And in Block B, Jeff Cobb and Kazuchika Okada, same thing, both sitting at the top at 8 points each. So it'll be interesting to see how this one plays out and who's going to get that title shot at Wrestle Kingdom coming up in January. We've got a new NWA World Heavyweight Champion. Trevor Murdoch finally picks up the victory and dethrones Nick Aldis after over 1,000 days as NWA Champion. And we've got brand new NWA Women's Tag Team Champions in The Hex, which is the tag team name of Allison Kay and Marty Bell. So that's kind of the highlights of what's been going on in pro wrestling over the last few weeks since we've been gone. Right now, I'm going to throw it over to my partner, Charlie G, and he is here, like always, with the Indie Cut.
Thank you, Tom, and hey to wrestling fans. It is great to be back with the show. I am Charlie G with this week's Indie Cut. Yes, we missed a lot of great and exciting wrestling shows. Hope you're able to keep an eye on them. And if I missed anything you'd like to keep informed about, let us know. With that being said, let's begin with Monday, September 20th, Stardom Grand Prix, Day 15. And finally, after 80 matches, Lady C defeated Waka Tsukiyama. She's a newcomer, so Lady C got the win on her. So she's 1 in, I believe, 80. So congrats, Lady C. Tuesday, September 21st, Freelance Underground phase in number 7 for the Freelance Underground tag titles. August Matthews and Davey Bang defeated the brothers of Funstruction of Ruffo the Clown and Yabo the Clown to become new champions. Also, we go to Thursday, September 23rd, and GCW Emo Fight. Kind of missed the show, so I'm just going to talk about a six-way scramble match. Treehouse Lee defeated AJ Gray, Cole Radrick, Jordan Oliver, and Tony Deppen, and Yoya. Most of those guys you will see coming up at Warrior Wrestling. And in the main event, it was Jimmy Jacobs coming out of his nice cushy jobs to defeat Atticus Cogar. So that had to be a fun match. On to Friday, September 24th, and St. Louis Anarchy Wartime from Granite City, Illinois. Matt Fitchett defeated Warhorse. Calvin Tankman defeated Kevin Lee Davidson. Davey Richards defeated Everett Connors. And for the Gateway Heritage title, Pure Rules match, champion Jeremy Wyatt defeated Daniel Makabe. Back to GCW, Get Lost a Lot from New York City, New York. Alex Zane defeated AR Fox. This is a real cool match. Nice to see Alex back in GCW. For the Internet title, Effie defeated champion Matt Cardona in 5 seconds. So Matt has lost his GCW title and his Internet title. He still has his own GCW spinner belt, which he might lose coming up on the 9th, as he has a if he loses, he's out of GCW, so I'm pretty sure he's going to lose. Atticus Cogar defeated Jordan Oliver. For the GCW tag titles, the second gear crew of Mance Warner and Matthew Justice, who are champions, defeated Chris Dickinson and Starbright Charlie. Nice match right there. Taji Ishimori defeated Tony Deppen. So we have some New Japan cruiserweights, junior weights, however you want to call it, here in the States, and Taji was able to do a GCW show, so it was nice to see. In a six-way scramble match, a crazy match, and an insane move by Ninja Mac. Ninja Mac won, defeating Cole Radrick, Dante Leon, Derange, Jimmy Lloyd, and Nick Wayne. I believe it was Ninja Mac doing a 630 reverse 360 reverse Spanish, no, not Spanish Fly. Yeah, I'm gonna, Ninja Mac did an insane move. If you watched it on DJ Ansi's show, he talked about it. So yeah, check that out if you can. AJ Gray defeated Yoya. Nick Gage defeated Grim Reaper. And in the summer of Suzuki, Monero Suzuki defeated Homicide. Now, if you watched this show on Friday night, along with Rampage, this match was before the Rampage match. So the spoiler was kind of given in this way. It was cool. I didn't realize Homicide would have shown up on AEW, but he did. And so this was the kind of like the lead-in to the Rampage main event. So pretty cool. Then CMLL 88th anniversary show. If you were able to see this, congrats to you. You probably live in Mexico if you do, or can get Ticketmaster Live to work. So we had the Mexican National Middleweight title vacant, and Templero defeated Dragon Rojo Jr. to become new champion. For the vacant CMLL World Tag titles, Titan and Valador Jr. defeated Diablo 1 and 2. And for the CMLL World Heavyweight title, champion Hechario defeated Ultimo Guerrero. Wait, CMLL World title... No, to become new champion, sorry. Ultimo Guerrero is also a champion in some other way. On to Saturday, September 25th. And Stardom 5-Star Grand Prix Day 17 Finals. Since I was not here to do all the shows, I will go through everyone's final standings. Start off was Momo Watanabe, who ended up with 12 points, defeating Julia with 6 points by no contest, since Julia was injured midway through with a neck injury. So hopefully she gets better fast. So the first match of the night was Hanan defeating Momo Watanabe and Rina, so she got some work in. And newcomer Mei Sakura defeated Waka Tsukiyama. Then we still go to B block matches. Mina Shirakawa ended with 6, defeating Natsupoi, who had 9 by countout. Fukigen Death had 10, defeating Saki Kashima with 4. Kuguma ended with 11, defeating Himeka with 10. Mayu Iwatani, who had 11, defeated Starlight Kid, who also had 11. Now for the A block matches, it was Azumi, who had 8, defeating Ruako, who had none. Unagi Sayaka, who had 9, defeated Saya Kamatani, who had 11. Micah had 9, defeating Konami with 10. Siri, who has 12, went to a time limit draw with Takuma Aroha, who had 11. And then Tam Nakano had 10, defeating Utami Hayashita, who also had 10. Which meant Momo Watanabe, who had 12, went against Siri, who had 12 as well. And Siri ended up winning the final match, becoming the Grand Prix champion. And everyone came out to challenge her at the end. Pretty cool ending. Nice to see Siri win after all. So go check that out if you can. You know where. I'm not going to really promote it as much because I don't need anyone else to get in trouble. To Invictus Aftershock from Ridgefield Park, New Jersey at IWTV. We had Casey Navarro defeating Mike Verna. And for the Invictus social media title match, which I believe Impact is now kind of stealing, Big Game Leroy, who's champion, defeated Danhausen. Gotta love that Danhausen, right? Defy Wrestling was back in action with Mad Kingdom from Seattle, Washington. Ethan HD defeated Jordan Oliver. Christopher Daniels defeated Titus Alexander. Yep, Christopher actually went back to Seattle to wrestle. And then John Moxley filled in for Eddie Kingston to defeat Shaft. I heard that was a real cool match. So if you can find it, fine. Go watch that show. To AAA Wrestling, we had Ariz, Argenis, and Latigo defeating Dinastia, Dulce Canela, and Commander. Winning Commander's last matches since he got hurt. Real cool match there. Then we had Abisma Negro Jr., Flammer, and Mamba defeating Lady Shiny, Atakan Jr., and Pimpinel Escalada. Crazy ending to this match. There's more outsiders and people who don't like Octagon came out. So check that out if you know where. Then La Impresa with the DMT Azul and Puma King defeating Chessman and Pagano. And that one ended in a crazy like NWO style interference with the CML guys, so check that out if you can. On to Sunday, September 26th, and Rev Pro Unfinished Business from Cambridgeshire, England. They have some British J Cup qualifying matches. And then in a non-title tag match, Kyle Fletcher and Mark Davis defeated Shoto Umino and Yoto Suj. And at the end of the match, Will Ospreay came out to get Kyle Fletcher and Mark Davis part of his empire. So he's getting a little one, some Rev Pro. He has his New Japan. And I saw somewhere online he has now TJP as part of his empire. I forgot at what show, but TJP is part of Will Ospreay's empire. And will be appearing for New Japan Strong in a couple weeks in Philly. Go to PWG, Tremendous 6. So Pro Wrestling Guerrilla was back in action. Of course, not streaming, so I wish I would have saw this. I heard it's really awesome. We have Evil Uno defeating Tony Deppen. Dragon Lee defeating Aramis. For the PWG World Title #1 contendership match, Alex Shelley defeated Jonathan Gresham. That had to be awesome. In a 6-man tag, Alex Zane, Dante Martin, and Jack Cartwheel defeated Lee Moriarty, Myron Reed, and Trey Miguel. Need I say more? Check that match out, please, if you can. I want to see it. I know you will too. JD Drake defeated AJ Gray. And for the vacant PWG World Tag Titles, the Kings of the Black Throne, which is Brody King and Malachi Black, defeating Black Taurus and Demonic Femina to become the champions, which I think is pretty cool. So you have Ring of Honor and AEW people as tag champions in PWG. Way to go, Excalibur. And then for the PWG World Title match, champion Bandito retained against Davey Richards. That'd be pretty cool too. So hopefully PWG gets with it soon. Can start streaming, because I really can't get those DVDs, but I hope to see it soon. On to Tuesday, September 28th. New Texas Pro Elijah show from Houston, Texas on IWTV. For the New Texas Pro title, champion Brian Keith defeated Stallion Rogers, or Kurt Stallion, however you want to call it. Rachel Rose defeated Sky Blue. Mysterious Q defeated Fuego del Sol. For the New Texas Pro Lone Star title match, Max Heights defeated champion Cole Radrick to become the champion. And for the New Texas Pro Women's title and Ring of Honor Women's World title, champion Roxy retained against Killer Kelly. Now that had to be a tough match, and she defeated her. She retained both title belts against Killer Kelly. That had to be an awesome match for her to have and see. So I hope you can find it on IWTV. To Wednesday, September 29th. And AAW Alive 23 was back. Not on Twitch. It was on YouTube. So you can check that out pretty easily. Main event was Axel Rico and Rico De La Vega defeating Christy James and Sky Blue, leading to their AAW pay-per-view last night. I'll get to these Ricos during that segment. And Christy and Sky are pretty much a team, so they had to fight Alice and Kate in the women's title match. Like I said, I'll get to that in a minute. So we go to Thursday, September 30th, and Violence and Suffering from Baldwin Park, California, and Machiavelli show. It's on Fight TV. So we had Eli Everfly defeating Starboy Charlie, Kevin Blackwood defeating Adrian Quest, in a 7-way scramble. Delilah Doom defeating Brandon Gotson, Gabriel Sky, Greg Sharp, Matt Vandergriff, Slice Boogie, and Super Panda. That'd be pretty cool there. JTG defeated Chris Bay. That'd be really cool. Brian Cage made his return to the ring, defeating Alex Zane and Willie Mack. Those three had a pretty cool match. Jordan Oliver defeated Rocky Romero in a 24-minute match. That had to be pretty good. Jordan Oliver and Rocky Romero. Check that out. And then in the main event, it was Robbie Eagles defeating Jimmy Lloyd. Who knew? Like I said, New Japan guys are here, and Robbie Eagles defeated Jimmy Lloyd. All right. On to Friday, October 1st, and WrestleMax St. Louis, Episode 6 from St. Louis, Missouri. Laney Luck defeated Blair Onyx. For the WrestleMax St. Louis River City title, champion Mike Outlaw defeated Camaro Jackson. And in the summer of Suzuki, Minoru Suzuki defeated Calvin Tankman. That'd be pretty cool there. Then Squared Circle Wrestling, Older, Fatter, and Balder from Syracuse, New York on YouTube. And they have a show later today on Saturday, so check that out if you can. That's Squared Circle Wrestling. Ted Goods defeated Warhorse. Dalton Castle defeated Colin Delaney and Daniel Garcia. Okay. Slick Wagner Brown defeated Too Cold Scorpio. Jay Freddy defeated Moose. You know they're not an Impact if they're losing. Rachel Eldering defeated Kyler Sparks. W. Morrissey defeated Cheech. Jason Axe, Mike Skyros, Rick Swan, and Sean Carr. Alex Shelley defeated Davey Richards. That had to be awesome. I gotta go back and watch that. Thunder Rosa defeated Mercedes Martinez. And the Dark Order of Evil Uno and Stu Grayson defeated Cloudy and Nick Ando. Okay, and then on to the AAW Defining Moments pay-per-view. premiering at Park, Illinois on Fight TV. In a six-way scramble match, it was Ace Perry defeating Braden Lee, Dante Leon, Josh C., Jake Lander, and Kareem. Ren Jones defeated Jigsaw. For the AAW Heritage title, Hakeem Zane, who's champion, defeated Ace Austin and Myron Reed. Really good match there. For the AAW Tag titles match, champion Jake Something and Stallion Rogers defeated Larry D and Shane Mercer. That was really cool as well. Shane, I still don't know how he's not on a company, but he will soon. For the AAW Women's title in a three-way match, champion Allison Kay defeated Christy James and Sky Blue with the help of the Ricos, who came out to distract Sky and tripped Christy, leading Allison to put her armbar on. At the end of the match, they destroyed Sky Blue in the ring and outside the ring, and then tried to put Christy James through a door, only for her to bounce off. And then they tried again and succeeded. So these two Ricos defeated two women. Way to go. He must feel real big today. We had then a tag match. Aramis Laredo Kid defeated Ariz and Gringo Loco. Put these four in the ring, you know it's going to be great. Put one of them in the ring, you know it's a good match. Check it out if you can. Gotta love them. Nels Garvin defeated Sean Logan. And then Russ Jones defeated Nels Garvin in a double dog collar and chain match. The second gear crew of the One Called Manders and Mance Warner defeated Infamy of Josiah and Robin Steele. Real cool match there with a lot of doors, chains, chairs. You name it, they probably did it. Some bar fighting. Even the women went to the bar and started fighting. There's some nasty bumps on that bar. And then for the tag team match, which turned to the main event, it was Fred Yehi teaming up with Josh Alexander to defeat Matt Fidget and Shaft. Fred Yehi and Josh will be wrestling each other, hopefully, at their October 29th or 30th shows at the end of the month, so check that out if you can. Look ahead to an upcoming shows on October 9th. There is a big Tokiyoshi Pro Wrestle Princess show where Maki Ito goes against her friend Utami. No, yeah, the champion Miyu. That's how long I haven't talked about Tokiyoshi Pro, but yeah, she's going for the championship there. Stardom is also putting on a big show. I'm not sure at the same time, probably a little bit later in the night, because that's when Stardom usually runs their shows, or early morning, however you want to look at it. And GCW will have Nick Gage versus the GCW champ. That's right, GCW champ John Moxley, in of course, a bloody street fight for the title with Mick Foley in attendance. So look for that if you can. That's a wrap for me. Till next time with more shows and results and some recaps. Don't forget to keep enjoying that wrestling world how you like, wherever you can. Watch or listen to them. Hope you all checked out my Warrior Wrestling show. It's on YouTube, so you can see my little graphics that I put up. If not, just listen to it on the podcast. I appreciate it. Thank you for watching or listening. Hope you enjoyed the cut. Keep safe, take care, and be kind, everyone. Back to you, Tom.
All right, Charlie, thank you so much. I appreciate everything you do for the show, my brother. I appreciate you being patient with the show being away for so long. And yeah, I'm so happy and thankful for all your contributions, and just grateful to you for taking this crazy ass wrestling ride with me and my brother. But so let's get into another news segment on the show here, where I am kind of gonna rank. I don't know if you want to call them power rankings or what you want to call it, but I'm just calling it the top 5. So yeah, the top 5, I'm just basically kind of not necessarily ranking, because they're not in any particular order, but this is just like the top 5 standouts, I guess, wrestlers, superstars, whatever you want to call them, for the week, or in this case, the last several weeks, again, since we've been off, but this will be a week-by-week thing. And, yeah, first one up this week is Big E. I talked about it earlier, winning the WWE Championship, well-deserved, definitely well-earned. The fans went nuts for it. I loved the following week when he came out and kind of gave his little speech, mentioned Brody Lee without mentioning him by name. The fans understood what he meant. A Brody chant broke out. It was a very cool moment. So, yeah, Big E first up on the top 5 this week. Next up, got to mention him again, CM Punk coming back after 7 years. I'm going to say it till I'm blue in the face. It was awesome. That crowd was ridiculous when that music hit. And by the same token, Bryan Danielson, my God, the pop that he got when he came out at the end of All Out was insane. And then, puts on a clinic with Kenny Omega, of all people, in his first match in AEW. Goes to a time limit draw with the AEW World Champion in a non-title match. It was fantastic. Number 4 is Adam Cole, baby. Making yes, I'm gonna keep saying it like that. Adam Cole, baby. Making his AEW debut, getting back with his elite brethren and reforming the Super Clique with the Young Bucks. He's another one, got a huge pop. And I mean, when he came out to the ring for his first match and did his little pose in the ring, and the Adam Cole, baby, my God, I mean, yeah, the NXT fans were into that, but let's be real. The NXT crowd in Full Sail or the Capitol Wrestling Center, always a lot smaller. It was only a few hundred people. I don't even think it was 1,000 people in those places. To go from that to 10,000 or 20,000, as it were, at Arthur Ashe Stadium, my God, it was insane to hear that many people saying his catchphrase. But it was awesome. So yeah, Adam Cole, part of AEW, and Ruby Soho rounding out the top 5 here, making her debut at All Out in the Women's Casino Battle Royale as the Joker. I mean, just came out. You could tell she was very emotional, had tears in her eyes. The crowd went insane as soon as her music hit, using the song Ruby Soho from Rancid, and which I thought was very cool of them to kind of gift that song to her. Well, not gift. I'm sure Tony Khan still had to pay for it, but making no bones about saying, yeah, you can use the song. I mean, even well before, she debuted in AEW, that's something that came out on social media right after her WWE release, pretty much, when she was, updating her name. So, but yeah, Ruby Soho making her AEW debut, and, first time out, got a match against Britt Baker for the World Championship, and didn't win the title, but there was some shenanigans there, so she's gonna get another title match. That's a given. So yeah, Big E, CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, Adam Cole, and Ruby Soho are the top 5 for this week. So now we're going to get into another segment of the show that's been part of the show for quite a while here, where I get to play armchair booker here, and I am talking about the fantasy booker. So this week's fantasy booker is coming from the AEW signings that we've seen in the last few weeks. Bryan Danielson versus Adam Cole. I want to see this match, and it's it's going to happen. I mean, right now Danielson is right in the middle of a feud with the Elite. He had his first match against Kenny Omega. He just had a match against Nick Jackson. Both of them were just absolutely amazing matches. I want to see Danielson and Cole. I think they would completely tear the house down. I think it would be a 5-star match without a doubt. So yeah, that's my fantasy booker. I know it's one that is probably going to happen sooner rather than later, and I typically try to stay to matches that can't happen or won't happen or things like that, but the hell with it. It's my show. I make the rules. So I want to see this match, Bryan Danielson versus Adam Cole, and with AEW, we are going to see it, I would guess, very, very soon. So let's get into the very last segment of the show here, the same way that we always close it out, me giving kind of an unpopular opinion or one that people may have, something to say about, but I am talking about the weekly hot take. My hot take for this week is this. All the detractors, whether it's AEW, WWE, Impact, whatever, if you're detracting from any wrestling company for any stupid little petty bullshit reason, you need to shut the fuck up. I am so sick of all of this stupid bullshit on social media. You know what, guys? There is no wrestling war. You know what the war is? It's between the freaking fans. Because people can't get through their damn head. It's okay to like more than one wrestling company. I love WWE. I grew up on WWE. I love AEW. It's new, it's fresh, it's different. It's wrestling. I love Impact. I love Ring of Honor. I love New Japan. I love wrestling. Period. If you're only a fan of one company, that's fine. You have every right to like what you want to like. What you don't have the right to do is to shit on what other people like. That's where the line is drawn. You don't have that right. Well, I'm entitled to my opinion. Not when it comes to what somebody else likes. No, you're not. Sorry, doesn't work that way. So, I'm going off on a little rant here, but that's kind of the point of this segment. God damn it, I'm tired of these people. Just sit back, watch what you like, and enjoy it. I can't stand these people who hate watch. Or I even read something online today. Somebody actually was live in the audience, ringside, bitching and moaning about everything going on in the show. Why would you spend that kind of money to go sit front row? It's something you hate. That, to me, is pure stupidity. If whoever that person is, if you're listening to this show, you're a moron. You spent however many hundreds of dollars to get ringside seats for AEW, sit there and bitch and moan about it for 3 hours. You're an idiot. So, okay, I'm going to stop right there because I'm going to end up pissing myself off because I can't stand these people that hate watch and people that just want to crap all over everything that somebody else likes just because it's not their thing. Watch what you like. Let other people watch what they like. Enjoy what you enjoy. Let other people enjoy what they enjoy. And leave each other the fuck alone. Seriously. But so that is going to do it for this week. And again, I want to thank everybody so much for tuning back in. I know we've been gone for a while. We have missed doing the show. I think I've actually had more fun recording this show today than I've had in a while. You know, I definitely needed the break, though. Like I said, had some family stuff going on. But yeah, we're back. Like I said, we got some new stuff on the show. Charlie G is back with the Indie Cut. We're going to be back with Warrior Wrestling on October the 16th. I will have a preview show for that going up that Friday with Steve Tortorello breaking down the card, going through all the stuff going on. Some amazing matches happening on that show, but that's nothing new for Warrior. And so, yeah, can't wait. You know, we love doing our live shows. We love doing the commentary. And, yeah, like I said, I think I've had more fun recording this show today than I have in a long time. So, I definitely needed the break. But I'm very happy that we're back. I thank everybody for just sticking with us. And, as always, for watching, listening, subscribing, wherever you may do that, whether it's YouTube or Spotify or iTunes or Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts or wherever you're listening or watching us from. Thank you so much. We appreciate the hell out of you guys. Hope everybody will check out the website, catchhookshoot.com. Check out all the stuff we got there. All the videos are there. All the podcasts are there. Every interview that we've ever done, all the merchandise, all the photo gallery with all the pictures from events and things like that. Head to prowrestlingtees.com/catchhookshoot for merchandise that you won't find on the website. And you can find all of that and more at our link tree, which is linktree/catchhookshoot, or scan the QR code right here in the corner of your screen. And if you ever want to shoot us an email, it's catchhookshoot@gmail.com. Again, thank you guys so much. Missed doing this more than I thought I would, quite honestly. I gotta say, I was getting a little burnt out on stuff. Like I said, had the family stuff going on, so I just had to step away for a little while. But I'm very, very, very genuinely happy and grateful to be back. And yeah, again, thank you to everybody for listening. Hope everybody is having a great week, has had a great couple of months since we've been gone. But yeah, have a good week. Enjoy all the great wrestling that's going to be coming up, and I will talk to you guys soon.